Okay, guys, happy to be with you. Of course, it's early morning. I wanted the blue sky behind me because I really need spring to come now. But this is not the sky I'm having above my head now. Now, this is a bit of a sad moment, maybe, because this is the last time we're going to read Les Misérables. What am I going to do today is like tell a little bit what's happening in the rest of the book. If you don't want any spoiler alert, you have to skip this video. I will not say so much, but what we're going to do, we will read two of the last pages because you will see something happens to this Javert, the policeman Javert. You know him because we read about him already in the first part. Now, this part we're going to read, I think in 5 minutes, we're going to read this last part. This is a really very, very famous part in French literature. All French people know this part. It's a man who's fighting with his conscience. But let's start from the beginning. So remember, we read the part Fantine. Fantine, this girl who was completely lost. And then she dies, but Jean Valjean will promise her to take care of her daughter, Cosette. That was the first part. We read the whole part. Now we are reading the part Cosette. And Cosette is the small girl of Fantine. She's working for this horrible couple. They're innkeepers. And if you were with us last week, you will know they really treat her badly. And so in this part, you will see later in that part that Jean Valjean, he will escape again. Because remember, he was put in prison in the first part. He was out, was in again. So he will escape again, Jean Valjean, and he will liberate Cosette from those horrible people, those innkeepers, and he will flee with her to Paris. So they will live together in Paris. That's the second part. Then we have the third part. The third part is about a young, good-looking man. His name is Marius. And of course, Marius, he falls in love with Cosette, little Cosette. But he will also take part in the revolutionary movement, because at that time in Paris, it's the beginning of the revolution. You know, people are do not agree anymore with the kings and with the people who are deciding everything for them. So it's like a whole period of revolution, and Marius, he will take part in this revolution. And then we have the fourth part, and there we will see more about the political tension building up in Paris, more and more. And Marius and his friends, because they're like a small club, they will take part in the fighting, the real fighting of the revolution. So that's the fourth part. And then the very last part, and that's where we are going to read 2 pages. So in the very last part, that part is called Jean Valjean. It's again about Jean Valjean. And so you will see that Jean Valjean, he will save Marius because he's going to die in this fighting, this revolutionary fighting. Jean Valjean is going to save him. And he will take this wounded Marius on his shoulders. He will flee with him, and he will go and hide in the sewers, because it's a whole sewer system in Paris. Probably you know that. And so he's going in there and hiding there. But who has seen them? Of course, it's Javert. But finally, and that's the interesting part, finally, Javert, he will be, the revolutionary youngsters, they want to execute him because he represents the power from before. So they will execute him. And Jean Valjean will say to the young people, guys, I'm going to take care of that. I will execute him. And he will take Javert, and that's a very, very, very important moment in literature. He will take Javert and he will not kill him. He will let him free. And that's now we're coming to that part where Javert, that's where we are now, we're going to read. Javert, he cannot wrap his head around it. He says, I should now take Jean Valjean, put him in prison again, but he saved me. So this it's really like some kind of a fighting in his conscience. He cannot grasp it. And what will happen finally, he will jump in the river Seine. Seine is the river that flows through Paris. If you've been there, you know that. And well, he will not survive. So I cannot really use the word. So what he does, he commits something. I cannot really use the word here because we're on YouTube, but we're going to read those two parts, those two pages, sorry. Hope you see it. Let me see full screen. So this is the first page and we will start here, jusqu'à ce jour. There we will start. And you will see that this is not an easy moment for Javert, the policeman. So, jusqu'à ce jour, Javert n'avait pris, dans les deux attitudes de Napoléon, que celle qui exprime la résolution, les bras croisés sur la poitrine. So, until that day, Javert had not taken, no, not. It's only taken, that's the ne que. You remember? You have the ne here, and we have the que here. He had only taken in the two attitudes of Napoleon. Yes, you know, Napoleon, the emperor. Apparently, Napoleon, he had two attitudes. One where he crosses his arms on his chest, and then one where he has the arms behind his back. So, in the two attitudes of Napoleon, only the one that expresses resolution. The arms crossed on his chest. Celle qui exprime l'incertitude, les mains derrière le dos, lui était inconnue. So the other attitude, the one that expresses uncertainty, uncertainty, the hands behind the back, was to him unknown. So Napoleon had those two attitudes, when he had a good resolution and then one when he was less certain. But Javert, he only knew the one where he was strong and knew what to do. Okay, I hope you understand. Because guys, we are in the most famous part of literature. Maintenant, un changement s'était fait. But now, a change had been done, had been made. Something had changed. Toute sa personne lente et sombre était empreinte d'anxiété. So his whole person, slow and dark, was empreinte, it's like imprinted with anxiety. Full of anxiety, but like imprinted. His whole body felt anxious. Il s'enfonça dans les rues silencieuse. So, s'enfoncer will be like he slipped into the streets, into the silent streets. This is Javert. Cependant, il suivait une direction. But nevertheless, he followed one direction. Il coupa par le plus court vers la Seine. So, he cut by the shortest, so he took a shortcut towards the Seine, the river Seine. Beautiful. Go to see the Seine in Paris. Javert souffrait affreusement. So Javert suffered terribly. Depuis quelques heures, Javert avait cessé d'être simple. Since a few hours, Javert had stopped to be simple. Nothing was simple. Before, things were very simple. This is the law, this is not the law. And his choices were very simple. But now, il était troublé. He was troubled. Ce cerveau si limpide dans sa cécité avait perdu sa transparence. So this brain, so clear in his blindness, had lost his transparency. So he could not see clear anymore. Things were not clear. Il y avait un nuage dans ce cristal. There was a cloud in this crystal, crystal clear mind, there was a cloud. Javert sentait dans sa conscience le devoir de se dédoubler. So Javert, he felt in his conscience the duty to se dédoubler means to split. Hein? It's like you have like a double personality. Like he had to split his duty. Et il ne pouvait pas se le dissimuler. And he could not, dissimuler means to hide this to himself. He could not hide that in fact there were like two ways of thinking. Quand il avait rencontré si inopinément Jean Valjean sur la berge de la Seine, il y avait eu en lui quelque chose du loup qui ressaisit sa proie et du chien qui retrouve son maître. Very important sentence. So, when he had met so unexpectedly Jean Valjean on the bank of the Seine, so the river bank, there had been in him, in Javert, something of a wolf who, like, ressaisir is like getting a grip, gets a grip on its prey, and of a dog who or which finds back his master. So those two feelings, I got you. That's the one feeling, and the other one, the dog has found his master. So you see, very, very terrible for Javert. Il voyait devant lui deux routes également droites, toutes deux. Mais il en voyait deux. So he saw in front of him two roads equally straight. The two, so both, toutes deux means both of them. But he saw two roads. Huh? De un means of those roads, he saw two of those roads. De ces routes. Therefore, you have un. If you have questions, don't hesitate. Et cela le terrifiait, and it terrified him. Lui qui n'avait jamais connu dans sa vie qu'une ligne droite. So he who had never known in his life but. And you see the ne que, it's not, it's again only. He had only seen one straight line in his whole life. Et, angoisse poignante, ces deux routes étaient contraires. And the fear was, so with poignant fear, with very strong fear, well, he had to see, those two roads were contrary, opposites. L'une de ces deux lignes droites excluait l'autre. One of those two straight lines excluded the other. Laquelle des deux était la vraie? Which one of the two was the real one? You see, his brain is just doubt. Sa situation était inexprimable. His situation was, could we say inexpressible? He could not explain it. Devoir la vie à un malfaiteur. So, devoir here, it's not his duty, it's to owe. To owe your life to a malfaiteur, malfeasant, but like a criminal. Accepter cette dette, to accept this debt, et la rembourser, and to reimburse him, meaning, I hope you understand here, so, now that Jean Valjean saved his life, is he going to save the life of Jean Valjean and let him go? That's like rembourser means to pay back. Is he going to say, okay, you let me go, I didn't die, I let you go? That's the question. Être en dépit de soi-même de plein pied avec un repris de sujet. So, to be in spite of himself, de plein pied means like on an equal foot with a repris de justice, it's a convict, like a prisoner. Et lui payer un service avec un autre service. and pay him a service with another service. Se laisser dire, hein, to let someone say to him, so to let Jean Valjean say to Javert, va-t'en, go away. Et lui dire à son tour, and then tell him, tell Jean Valjean, well, in turn, sois libre, be free. Sacrifier à des motifs personnels le devoir. Ah, that's important. Like, to sacrifice for personal reasons, personal motives, the duty. That's the big question. Can he let go of his duty, meaning he has to follow the law and put people in prison who are criminals? Cette obligation générale, this general obligation, est sentir dans ses motifs personnels quelque chose de général aussi, and feel in his personal motives or reasons something of general too, meaning of general purpose, of like general meaning, because maybe this is a good moral lesson. People who help you, maybe you should help them. That's also like a general moral good doing. I hope, guys, you understand me. Otherwise, tell me. Et de supérieur, peut-être. Hein? Maybe this is doing something superior. Trahir la société pour rester fidèle à sa conscience. So to betray society, to stay faithful to his conscience. So really thinking, is this my duty? What am I going to do? Is this just for me personally? Is it for a general good? Those are the questions in Javert's mind. Que toutes ces absurdités se réalisassent, that all those absurdities came true. Hein? Se réaliser means to become reality, to come true. But, well, let's first read the rest so that we understand better what's going on. Et qu'elle... Ah, okay, yeah. Et qu'elle vince s'accumuler sur lui-même, c'est ce dont il était atterré. Okay, now, réalisasse and vince, though those are subjunctifs. Don't break your head on it. It's quite complicated. But so he says that all that is accumulated, is like stacking up in himself, or on himself. C'est ce dont il était atterré. That is why he was atterré, shocked. So this is the shock. All those things, all those elements stacking up in him. Is it my personal good I'm following? Is it my conscience? Is it a general good? All those things are in his head. Une chose l'avait étonné. One thing had astonished him. C'était que Jean Valjean lui eût fait grâce. It was that Jean Valjean had, and then we have the verb faire grâce. Hein? Faire grâce, to do grace, means here to spare, I would say. So that Jean Valjean had spared him. So he was astonished because Jean Valjean could have killed him, could have executed him. Et une chose l'avait pétrifié, c'était que lui, Javert, il eût fait grâce à Jean Valjean. And one thing that had petrified him, it was that he, Javert, he had spared Jean Valjean. So that's what he did. He spared already Jean Valjean here in those 2 pages. So that's why he feels so bad. Où en était-il? Où en était-il is like, where am I, but more like, where am I in my life? Il se cherchait et ne se trouvait plus. He was searching for himself and did not find him anymore. He doesn't recognize himself. Que faire maintenant? What to do now? Livrer Jean Valjean, c'était mal. Hein? To deliver or to, yes, to not spare would be here. Hein? To deliver Jean Valjean would be bad. Laisser Jean Valjean libre, c'était mal. To leave him free, that was bad also. Huh? To take him or to leave him, both, it's both bad. Dans le premier cas, l'homme de l'autorité tombait plus bas que l'homme du bagne. So in the first case, when he brings Jean Valjean to prison, the man of authority, so the policeman, fell lower than the man of prison. Dans le second, un forçat montait plus haut que la loi et mettait le pied dessus. In the second case, if he left Jean Valjean free, a galley slave went up higher than the law and put his foot on it, so crushed the law. Dans les deux cas, déshonneur pour lui, Javert. In the two cases, both cases, dishonor, shall we say dishonor? Maybe disgrace for him, Javert. OK. Ce qu'il venait de faire lui donnait le frisson. So what he had just done, and we know now the expression venir de means has just. What he has just done gave him chills, frisson, chills. Il avait, lui, Javert, trouvé bon de décider contre tous les règlements de police. He, Javert, found it good to decide against all the rules of the police. Contre toute l'organisation sociale et judiciaire, against the whole social and judiciary organization. Contre le code tout entier, against the whole, and code means the law. What's written, the law books, what's written in the law. Une mise en liberté, like he released him, to put in liberty meaning a release. That's what he did. He let him go, Jean Valjean. Cela lui avait convenu. That had been convenient to him. Il avait substitué ses propres affaires aux affaires publiques. He had substituted his own business with public business or public maybe interest. N'était-ce pas inqualifiable? Was it not unqualifiable, meaning like not good? Chaque fois qu'il se mettait en face de cette action, sans nom, qu'il avait commise, il tremblait de la tête aux pieds. So each time that he put himself en face de means in front of this action without name that he had committed, he shivered, he trembled from head to foot, to feet. In French, it's plural to feet. À quoi se résoudre? Yeah, résoudre means, here it really means, normally it's to solve, like to solve a problem, but here it means to decide. But what should he decide? Une seule ressource lui restait. Just only one resource was left to him. And then, okay, the rest, we're not going to read because he could go back to this street, Rue de l'Homme Armé, and then he could put Jean Valjean in prison. Okay, but is he going to do it? No, and this is maybe spoiler alert. I'm not spoiling, but okay, you can stop my video now. But so he is going to throw himself in the water, in the Seine, this Javert. Okay, guys, so this is the end. What are we going to do next week? Well, my dear subscriber, Mahermo, he has been asking me for a long time now to explain in English how to start studying Dutch. So maybe this is not going to interest you guys, but don't worry, we're coming back with another book. Don't worry. You can already let me know which book you want to read, the next book. But so next week we are starting from scratch, Dutch from scratch, from the beginning. So if you want to be there, perfect. And if you want to wait for a new book, then send me a title. Send me a book you want to read. Thanks, guys. Thank you, really, really. And we see each other soon. Bye-bye.